So today we are going to be solving one-step inequalities by multiplication or division. So again, one-step inequality is an inequality that can be solved in one step. So for this first example, we have b divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 4. So now we want to get b by itself, so we multiply each side by 2. So now when we simplify, we should have b is greater than or less than 8. So now we want to graph this, and remember yesterday when we went over if we have greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, we always shade in our circle. So at 8, I am shading in my circle, and since b is greater than or equal to, I'm shading to the right. Again, we can check our answer. If I plug in 10 for b, so I would have 10 divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5, which is in fact greater than or equal to 4. Now for our second example, we have 2b is less than or equal to 20. So to get b by itself, we want to divide each side by 2. So now we're left with b is less than or equal to 10. So now we want to graph this. Again, because we have less than or equal to, we want to shade in at 10. So I'm shading in my circle, and b is less than, so I'm shading to the left of my number line. If we want to check our answer, I can plug in 8 for b, so we have 2 times 8 is less than or equal to 20. And 2 times 8 is 16, which is in fact less than or equal to 20, so we know that our steps were correct. In the examples that I showed above, we were only multiplying and dividing by positive numbers. So now I want to go over when we multiply or divide by a negative number. Now this is very important because when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to remember to flip the sign. And now, why do we need to flip the sign? So imagine if you're comparing the numbers 6 and 3. Clearly 6 is greater than 3, but what about 6 times a negative 1 is greater than 3 times a negative 1? The result would be that negative 6 is greater than negative 3, which we know is wrong. So when you multiply both sides by a negative value, you make the side that is greater have a bigger negative number, which actually means that is now less than the other side. So this is why we must flip the sign whenever we multiply or divide by a negative